天地，他成功了。啊！今日乃是我浑天地封地之时。这就是
Dou Qi, the peak of power in the world of battle through the heavens. Everyone expected Xiao Yan to become a god, but could it be that HUN TIANDI, the main villain, succeeded before him? For a very long time, he hunted down every piece of the ancient god Dou Qi Jade, which opened the path to the ancient Emperor Dou Qi's tomb. It was there that the object capable of opening the road toward the birth of a new god was supposed to exist. As Xiao Yan and the other Peak 9 star saints said, the divine essence had disappeared from this world. Only with outside assistance could one break through that unreachable barrier. HUN TIANDI set his sights on the embryonic pill located inside the ancient Emperor Dou Qi cave mansion. When the ancient god's dwelling opened, HUN TIANDI used the Nihility Devouring Flame to seize the embryonic D-tier pill, while Zhu Kuan occupied the Heavenly Flame Square. A fierce battle between several 9-star saints erupted over the treasures of ancient god Dou Qi. Even with the help of the Nihility Devouring Flame, HUN TIANDI could not withstand Gu Yuan and Zhu Kuan, the Void Dragon Emperor. So what did he ultimately do? HUN TIANDI, who had managed to seize the pill, suddenly grabbed the Nihility Devouring Flame and rushed into a spatial crack. Upon seeing this, the Nihility Devouring Flame immediately became alarmed. However, before it could do anything, a pair of bloody cracks appeared directly near HUN TIANDI's neck. He truly managed to split space apart. However, a low roar sounded out. Immediately afterward, an energy tide erupted and crazily surged toward HUN TIANDI. A terrifying force, like a gigantic mountain, mercilessly slammed into HUN TIANDI's back. His expression quickly turned pale. Numerous bloody wounds formed all over his body. Blood burst forth, instantly covering him entirely. However, HUN TIANDI and the Nihility Devouring Flame used that moment to rush directly into the spatial crack. In the blink of an eye, they disappeared. The spatial crack also quickly vanished. Unfortunately, all paths leading into the HUN realm had been destroyed. Xiao Yan, Gu Yuan, and the others searched for a way to find it. After all, as HUN TIANDI had said, once I completely refine the embryonic divine tier pill, the time will come when your Gu clan, Lei clan, Yen clan, the Heavenly Mansion Alliance, and the ancient Void Dragon tribe will completely disappear from this world. Everything faced annihilation, but refining such an extraordinary pill required time. There was no guarantee that just anyone could refine an embryonic divine tier pill. Gu Yuan said, now the only thing we can do is pray that HUN TIANDI fails to refine it successfully. As long as he does not step into the level of a god, we still have a chance. Of course, if he succeeds. Everyone fell silent. Their hearts pounded wildly. Deep down, none of them wanted to think about such an outcome. 1 month later, Gu Yuan's expression was unusually serious. He sadly said, I truly found the location of the HUN realm, but it is already too late. What do you mean? Xiao Yan asked after a moment. Gu Yuan sighed. His gaze shifted toward the sky above the Central Plains. The entire Central Plains suddenly shook violently the moment he did so. Xiao Yan's group noticed this scene. They hurriedly exited the hall and looked toward the distant sky. Suddenly, a black circle of light appeared. That circle of light spread at a shocking speed. The entire Central Plains became enveloped by it. The natural energy filling the whole Central Plains suddenly boiled with the appearance of that light circle. Countless experts turned pale in shock as they raised their heads and stared into the sky. At the center of everyone's attention, the black light began trembling in the sky. Finally, under countless stunned gazes, it transformed into a gigantic cauldron. The size of the cauldron was indescribable. It seemed to encompass the entire Central Plains within itself. This is... The expressions of Xiao Yan and many others changed dramatically upon seeing this scene. They sensed a familiar aura within the endless light. It belonged to HUN TIANDI. Gu Yuan tightly clenched his fists as his deep voice reached everyone's ears. HUN TIANDI has already reached the initial stage of fusing with the pill. Now he intends to use the Central Plains as a cauldron, living beings as ingredients, the world as the flame, and his own body as the pill. He plans to truly refine this embryonic divine tier pill into a genuine divine tier pill. Once the pill is completed, he himself will also advance into the level of a god. HUN TIANDI, all of us underestimated his insane ambitions. The medicinal pill had already taken shape, which meant that the most important step in the pill's creation had already been completed by ancient god Dou Qi. If HUN TIANDI could complete the final step, then there was a possibility that he could finish creating a true divine tier pill. Xiao Yan slowly explained. We truly underestimated HUN TIANDI. Although the embryonic divine tier pill is powerful, his chances of breaking into the level of a god with it alone would still be relatively small. However, if he transforms the embryonic pill into a complete one, he will increase those chances many times over. One could even say that if he truly obtains a complete divine tier medicinal pill, he will be able to step across the barrier that blocked him for thousands of years. Those who initially doubted him heard Xiao Yan's explanation. After all, he could be considered the greatest alchemist on the current Dou Qi Continent. HUN TIANDI was not merely seeking to obtain an embryonic divine tier pill. Instead, he wanted to obtain a true divine tier pill. In that case, we should now have an excellent opportunity, right? Since HUN TIANDI must complete the final step, he will definitely have to reveal himself. Then we can intervene and stop him. Lei Ying said. So, could he still be stopped? I do not know what secret technique HUN TIANDI used, but he has already completely fused with the pill. With his current strength, even if Zhu Kuan and I join forces, it will still be extremely difficult for us to stop him. Gu Yuan shook his head. He continued, I believe that if refining the pill were not such an important matter, the HUN clan would have already invaded us. Everyone was shocked. The situation was becoming worse and worse. In the past, they had still been able to fight on equal footing. Moreover, with Zhu Kuan's appearance, the Alliance army had even gained the upper hand. Yet now, that advantage had completely disappeared in such a short amount of time. HUN TIANDI's aura has already become extremely powerful. I can sense that he will soon succeed. The Dragon Emperor Zhu Kuan's voice broke the silence. The hearts of those present tightened when they heard him. Don't tell me all we can do is watch as he completes the final step? Lei Ying clenched his teeth. His voice contained fury. Recently, they had been acting like turtles, hiding behind a protective barrier. Such an environment filled many experts with indignation. The formation has already been established. Just the energy within those clouds alone is enough to cause us problems. There is no need to even mention beginning a life-and-death battle against HUN TIANDI. Gu Yuan shook his head. With HUN TIANDI's current strength, he could no longer compare to him. They could only defend temporarily, but attacking him was completely out of the question. The experts clenched their fists. Even the clan chiefs felt helpless in such a situation. There was no need to mention their subordinates. While HUN TIANDI was breaking through toward the level of a god, Xiao Yan was also occupied with an extremely important matter that could change the situation across the entire Dou Qi Continent. No, unfortunately there was no second embryonic pill. But there was another path. We will discuss that in a separate video. Now all of us can only place our hopes on Xiao Yan. Only then will we have a chance to overturn this board of disasters. Otherwise, the Central Plains will be finished. An image of that young man flashed through Gu Yuan's mind as he quietly said, I believe he will create another miracle. Within that horrifying and desperate atmosphere, time slowly flowed onward. The bloody clouds pressed down endlessly, preventing anyone from feeling joy. 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, half a year. The color of the bloody clouds became increasingly dense, and from time to time bloody rays descended upon the earth. During all this time, not a single shocking battle occurred. The bloody clouds covered half of the Central Plains. However, not a single expert from the HUN clan appeared. Even HUN TIANDI's voice had not echoed even once. Nevertheless, the brutal and monstrous aura coming from the Sea of Blood became increasingly terrifying as time passed. In the 7th month of this tense atmosphere, ripples finally appeared within the distant Sea of Blood. The Sea of Blood churned violently. A vortex emerged within it. Soon afterward, a gigantic bloody lotus slowly rose from the vortex. A person sat upon the bloody lotus. Blood-colored hair fell over his shoulders. His entire appearance resembled a demon standing above the sea of blood with wings spread wide. This power is intoxicating. The man slowly opened his eyes. The scarlet color within them caused ripples to spread across the sea of blood. The space behind HUN TIANDI distorted the moment he opened his eyes. A man wrapped in black flames stepped out from the crack. All descendants of the Ling, Shi, and Yao clans have already been thrown into the blood pool. Approximately 60% of the descendants of the HUN clan have also been thrown in. However, this action has caused a wave of discontent. The nihility-devouring flame said. HUN TIANDI rose from the bloody lotus and loudly laughed toward the heavens. Afterward, he opened his mouth and released a suction force. The mass of black flame transformed into a ray of light and was swallowed by him. An aura that seemed to surpass the entire world erupted from HUN TIANDI's body. A gigantic wave of blood burst forth from the endless sea of blood. HUN TIANDI turned toward the land. A strange smile appeared on his face. At the same time, his voice, overflowing with endless bloodlust, spread across the entire Central Plains in an overbearing manner. Remember this day. Today I, HUN TIANDI, have obtained the power of a god.